WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all the rest of you yahoos who are out there dilly-dillying, you little wankers, we're actually receiving real wrestling news.
Memorial Day, happy Memorial Day, everybody. And we are here with Jimmy Shoulders, a.k.a. Kloudi from the Body Donnas in the WWF, WWE. Jimmy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, brother. How you making out? So it's good talking to you, Jake.
Yeah,
real good talking to you.
You too. I always appreciate the time that you guys give. So, now you started out in what, the late '80s?
Yeah. Me and Chris Candido wrote me into wrestling. I'd only seen 2 matches prior to ever getting into business.
That's incredible. And you, like, from what I've heard, you drove him to a match and they put you in the ring, basically, gave you a little workout.
Yeah, they were gonna. I drove him down. Before we get into this, let me just say this: it's Memorial Day. I'm a Marine. My wife's a Marine. We're both veterans, and I just want to say, give it up to all the veterans out there, and happy Memorial Day to everyone, and for those whose families that gave all. We appreciate what you did. God bless America, and thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I really mean that, and Semper Fi.
And
but
those who serve, thank you.
To get back to wrestling, I never would have wrestled if I wasn't a Marine. First of all, I mean, just kind of like what makes the cut of people to do certain things, and Marine Corps just kind of built some character that I needed. But Chris Candido was just this pain in the ass fat kid at the gym who used to always say he was going to be a famous wrestler. And I've told this story a bunch of times, but and after a while, he started working out and doing good, and he asked me to give him a ride to some wrestling thing. His dad couldn't give him a ride, and I told him no. And he wasn't training hard enough, and he's kind of screwing around drinking beer out in front of the gym with the owner at the body shop in Belmar, which isn't there anymore. And I really miss that place because we had a great time there starting out. But I told him, I said, look, I'll take you anywhere you want to go. If you train real hard for the next year, I'll give you a ride. I said, all right, man, cool.
Wow. So
a little less than a year goes by, and old Skip to Methuselah there. I got a bunch of names for Ken, man. He really was my little brother, So, but he comes up to me at the gym, and he started training with me. And my buddy Lefty, Keith St. John, the martial artist, good friend of mine. But we were training hard, and the kid needed a ride. And I was like, hey man, my dad can't take me. He says, can you give me a ride on Saturday? Because we'll go after we deadlift and eat breakfast. Because we deadlift every Saturday morning, and then we go to George's for breakfast, another place in Belmar. It's not there anymore. And that was our Saturday morning routine. I said, yeah, I got no problem taking you over, brother. I got no problem at all. So, after we did all that next Saturday, I picked him up at his mom's house, and she made some food for us to take with us. And I'm like, wow, that's an awful lot of food, but, cool. And, grilled chicken breasts and all kinds of stuff. And we were set to go. And he gets in the car and I said, all right, little brother, where are we heading? He goes, Baltimore. And we're in Jersey. All these Yankees up there. You you're all a bunch of Yankees, right?
I do.
Yeah. All right, cool. My family's down in Paisley, South Carolina, so,
I was going to say, you definitely didn't have a Jersey accent.
Well, I was born in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and everybody my whole life told me, you don't sound like you're from here. And I'm like, oh, that's where I'm from. You know, but, I mean, I've been all over the place and cowboyed and a bunch of other crap. But, so I take Chris, and he goes, yeah, it's WCW. I go down and I help Wild Bill and Gordo, or Klondike Bill and Gordo set up the ring. And do you remember those guys?
Yeah,
they used to drive the WCW ring around, right? They said, so, you know, I helped them set up the ring, and then I get to work out in it, you know, work out with some of the boys. And I didn't know really what he meant by the boys. You know, I figured it's just a bunch of other ham hocks that are going to go around and do this, you know, phony nonsense wrestling that, you know, I kind of thought was idiotic. Yeah, I really did. I thought you had to be stupid to want to do that. And, you know, about 800 chair shots to the head later, I think it was fabulous. You know?
Yeah, right.
You want to hit me with that? Sure. You know, but we get there, and he helps him set up the ring. I had some newspapers and reading some stuff. He's in there and, you know, jumping around, you know, like, you know, monkey moves and stuff. You know, today I know they're called bumps. You know, he's in there bumping around. You know, but my first day there, I just thought he was, you know, like jumping around like a fool.
Yeah, and you went out absolutely no intentions of getting in the ring.
None, zero, nada.
Crazy considering the ride that business took you on.
You know, I had a construction company. I was tattooing. You know, I was getting ready to open a tattoo shop. I had a lot of things going on. And I was a competitive power lifter. Me and my buddy Booger, Jimmy Weiss, you know, Iron Cross powerlifting team. So, you know, it was fun back in the day. But I'm watching Chris do these things down in the ring. I'm reading the paper, and I see a bunch of guys with these, you know, bleached blonde mullets. You remember the mullets?
Oh yeah, that was in the 80s in wrestling. That everybody had a
mullet. This is the 80s, man. You know, it's like mullet central. I'm like, holy crap, man. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm just seeing them. I'm seeing them, you know, around or in the ring. Some of them with Chris and stuff, and I don't know anybody, you know, and I don't care to. I always kind of like to keep to myself a little bit. And Chris, I see some commotion going around, and I see this guy in the worst. It wasn't teal. It was a burgundy colored, like a neon burgundy polyester suit. You know, like a real cheap one. In this big yellow tie, you know, and I saw the same man wear the same suit in June of '96 when I got up to WWF. But so this guy is in the ring swinging a tennis racket, pointing the tennis racket up our way. There's some gray-haired guys, other people in commotion. Chris comes running up to me, and he's like, "Hey man, I don't know if you ever talked to Chris. Did you talk to Chris?"
No. I knew, like, up in Boston, I knew a lot of people who met him. Unfortunately, by the time I started going around, he had already passed. He left an impression on everybody he's ever met, though, I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best brother I could ever have. You know, me and Johnny just miss him, you know, and miss him every day. But, you know, he when he'd get excited, especially when he's younger, you know, and he's a teenager here. You know, like 16 years old or 17 years old. Forget how old he was at the time. He's probably 16 because I was driving. But he said, "Man, you know, you got to come down. You got to get in the ring. You got to take some bumps." Remember, I said I don't know what bumps were.
Yeah.
You got to come in. You got to take some bumps. If you don't get in the ring, then we got to go. They said, "Who's that guy up there?" So that's my rhyme. They're like, "Well, if he's not a worker, you got to go." I didn't know what a worker was. You know. And, you know, so he's like, "If you got to go tonight, you're good, and I can't work out, and I won't get my dream of being a professional wrestler, and that's really what I do, so you got to help me out." Going on and on and on. I'm like, "I'm not getting in the ring, man." Well, you know, I ain't doing that. You know, like, he's begging me. I'm like, you know what? I just loved the kid. You know, I really did. So I said, all right. I said, I'll come back. I said, all right, man, cool. And he ran down, and I walked down because I wasn't in a hurry to get in the ring. And I didn't know anything about him. He had a martial arts background and, amateur wrestling background. I wasn't afraid of anything, but I don't know what the hell these guys are doing. It's all kind of, loose and all over the place. So we get in the ring, and Chris says, I'm going to teach you how to do a Beal. And I'm like, a what? A Beal. You know what a Beal is, right? Hip toss. You know what a Beal? So tells me how to do that. And he goes, just jump over and land on your back. I'm like, what? He goes, I can't show you how to do it because they're all looking. Just jump over and land on your back. So boom, so I do it. We do a couple things a couple times, shows me how to hit the ropes like this, and he looks over at the one guy and says, he's real green, man, he's real green. I'm like, okay, so I know what green is, so I'm like, okay. So this, not a hell of a physique on the guy, but one fine, beautiful, platinum blonde mullet slides in under the ropes and pops right up in front of me. He's like, hey man, how you doing? What's your name? I said, Jim. He says, hey, Jim, how you doing, man? How you doing? He says, I'm Bob, man. Look, I'm going to show you a couple things so nobody gets in trouble here. We're going to do a little bit, a little this, a little that, and then boom, boom, boom. And I don't understand what boom, boom, boom is or this and that. You got what I'm saying, brother? Because kayfabe was still in the business.
Yeah.
That's why they wanted me out. That's why I ended up in the ring. So he shows me a few things. They teach me a spot. Now I know what a spot is. Around the world, tackle drop down, lead drop, hip toss, and follow that up with an arm drag. Hey, there you go, man. You know what I mean? So I learned my first spot, and the third or fourth time I ran it, I'm running it with Bobby Eaton, and then I ran it with Stan Lane, and this big tall fellow with spiky blonde hair, he got in the ring. He had a funny name because it was like named after a rock star. Oh, that would be Sting.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who any of these guys were. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
I had no idea. So my first day in the business, God bless me. I mean, really, God bless me. I'm working with the top guys the first time I'm ever in the ring with the top guys at WCW, Midnight Express.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette telling me what to do. He goes, hey, you ain't a jackass after all. Hey, come on, hey, Jimmy. He's other than my sisters and some girls, Cornette was the only one that called me Jimmy, and it stuck, and Jimmy stuck in wrestling. I always hated it when I was younger, but, it just doesn't matter to me. I'm Jimmy Shoulders, man. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah, now you're proud. Now you wear it proudly.
Yeah. So that's what got me into the daggone business. And
nobody else has that story. No one else has a story close to that in this business. I guarantee it.
I'll tell you, like you asked Bobby Rydell, who I just love, and it's his mom's birthday today, so happy birthday to Joe Rydell.
Happy birthday, Mr. Rydell.
Bobby.
I know who he is. I know of him. I think I talked to him probably years ago.
Okay.
I know he's
you
actually
guys kind of got similar accents. I mean, he's in New York, and you're New England, and it ain't too far off,
He's actually in the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, and I'm not. That son of a bitch. The next time I see him, and I talked to him today. I talked to him today.
Okay.
But, I'll tell you another story as we go on about Bobby and his mom and me and Marty Jannetty. You might have heard of Marty Jannetty. Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. He didn't get much press around here, but if you're listening, MJ, I love you, brother, you son of a bitch. But I can't wait to see him this weekend.
Yeah, he'll be at the Fan Fest on Saturday, June 2nd, East Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
As part of the
we'll be there.
they're doing the New Rock is with they got him with Al Snow.
Yeah, Al Snow, man. It's poor Al, and I love Al, and I just talked to him too, and I'm excited to see Al. But
for a guy that had no interest in ever being in this business, I've, blessed to have friends of mine that they're regular folks, but they're some of the most famous people ever in the business. And I got to work with all these guys. There's guys that this is what they dream of, and I was just kind of blessed with it, And I mean, don't get me wrong, I put work into it, but and it took time, to get some skill and craft, but it was just great. But you want to hear? I don't know how you want to do this, which direction you want to go. We're going all over the map here. It don't matter.
Yeah, we probably will. Like I want to touch on, because I know you're very religious now, and I want to get into that at some point on how that transformation happened.
That's where Bobby Rydell and his mom and my parents. My mom's passed, but that's where those four really truly saved me, and got me on a path with the Lord, and straightened out my life. But we'll definitely get into that, because I wouldn't be here talking to you today if it wasn't for Christ. I mean, it's that simple,
I'd say whether you know it or not, and I'm not an overly religious person at all. I'm up in Boston, so you can probably guess I'm Irish Catholic.
Yeah, you're a Southie.
Yeah, I am. That's where I'm born and raised, in Southie, actually.
I know. I can tell by your accent.
But it's...
I'm one of them folks that, studies accents and
okay.
trying to find out where people are from. Because when I was in the Marine Corps, you'd hear a guy talking, you knew he was from either Oklahoma or Texas, New Jersey, New York, or, Providence. I went to boot camp with a guy from Providence, Rhode Island. Tough son of a gun, man. Tough son of a gun. But, when I got into wrestling, JP, I was clean and sober. I'd already gone through my first marriage. I was in the gym training, keeping my head together, and I cleaned up off drugs and alcohol. The first time, and that's where Chris and I really got our brotherhood together, and friendship and family built all out of that. But wrestling just took me down the dark road, with pain medication, and my first day in the locker room at WWF, one of my brothers with an English accent was no longer with us. Says, "Hey, brother," says, "you're going to need these." What the hell? It's not for the pants, for the office. So, dealing with the office, you got to take some pills, and I realized real quick that, he wasn't kidding. I was already in pain, and, being Kloudi was the easiest job I ever had in the business. It was the easiest job I ever had in the business. I've been to FMW, Japan, I've been over, Otto, over in Germany and stuff. I worked Puerto Rico, I was up in Canada, up Stampede, and, I worked in Mexico, so, I went through everything I had to go through, but I just got bad on the pills, man, on the gimmicks,
Yeah.
And in between that and resentment, because I hated the Kloudi gimmick for forever after it, and I used to say it killed my career, but the reality was that drugs killed my career. I couldn't even show up, and when I'd show up, Johnny Diamond, the old Pittsburgh Steel team, he's down in Florida. He used to pull my head up out of soup, or mashed potatoes or whatever the hell I was eating, and just keep an eye on me. And me and Marty, we had been released from WWF, and I'll get into that. Let me tell you the Kloudi thing real quick.
Yeah, I want to know how they told you about that.
I just got back from work in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the bed, and my girlfriend's there. I just got back from the airport, and at some meeting, just sitting there, and my phone rings. As phones do, they ring when someone calls you.
Yeah.
I see that it's Chris, so I'm like, "Hey, Cam, man, what's up, brother?" And he was already with the company. He was already with Titan, and I said, "What's happening, man?" He goes, "Hey, I'm here in San Francisco or L.A. airport, and there's one on the West Coast." So I was sitting here waiting. He said, "But I got some news for you." I said, "What's that?" He says, "Well, remember we used to kid around and say, we'd paint our ass blue and dance around in the ring like a gorilla?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, it's not that bad." I said, what are you talking about?" He says, "Well," he says, "and this is Tuesday. It's a Tuesday night. And he says, Vince wants you in his office Thursday morning. They have a contract. They're going to sign you. They're going to bring you in. So I can't tell you exactly what's happening, but we're going to drop the strap. What's her name is going to leave and go with the other guys, and we're going to have a new manager, and it's going to be you. And then after that, you're going to put the screws to us, and you're going to come out in her stable of wrestlers, because they had this idea of a stable of wrestlers with Evil Sunny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's evil from the get-go, so I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I pray for her, and if she calls me, I'll do anything I can to help her, because Chris and Jesus Christ will want me to. And, that's the only reason. But I said, okay, so the next day I get a call from J.J. Dillon, and he let me know that Jim Ross was going to call me. Jim Ross calls me up and he goes over a few things, and I told him this would need my attorney to look over it, and the phone went silent. I'm like, "Well, I'm not signing a contract without an attorney, sign it."
Right.
So they sent it over to me. I sent it to my attorney, and he laughed, and he's like, "Don't sign this," and he's made some changes, and WWF went along with what I asked for through my agent, through my attorney, and but it was the character to be determined later, the name of the character. So I had no name at this point. They knew the frickin' name.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. Chris knew what was going on, but I didn't. So the kayfabe is on me, and so I get up to Stanford there, and it's my maybe fourth or fifth trip up to the office, because I had worked out in the warehouse with Chris and Tom a few times when they were trying some different stuff. Chris and I were up there years ago and did a couple of dark matches, not for me, but for him. And, they told me to get bigger, back then. And that was like early, like 91 or 92. But, so we went in, I go in the thing, and everybody's real kind to me, like I'm friggin' somebody, and, I just know that I made, $50 for a week in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 So, I'm up here and I'm like, wow. And, go into the office and I get into the conference room. You got J.J. Dillon in there, Jim Ross, Cornette was there, Bruce Pritchard, Tommy's brother.
Yeah.
Right? I love Dr. Tom, man. I would take a bullet for that son of a bitch. And I just meant he cut his hair off and bleached it blonde, and that was the screws put to him. So Bruce is in there, and Chris and I we're in to sit down, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it's like Vince appears. And he's like, Jim, how you doing? I said, I'm good, Mr. McMahon. How are you, sir? I said, it's real nice to meet you. Chris has told you about the character. I said, I gave him a little bit of the deal, manage and then wrestle, come out, stable wrestlers, with Sonny. And he's like, yeah. He said, but did he tell you any more about the character? I said, no. I said, I wasn't informed of the name or anything yet. And I had just already signed everything, and he just signed his name, right? He goes, well, all of a sudden, I'm like, you got Jim Cornette laughing, Bruce Pritchard's blood pressure's going through the roof because he just can't hold back the laughter. Brother Love there. And, Chris is crying. He's turned his head away from me, ducked it down, because he knows I'll shoot on him, and kill the little bastard. And he's kind of like, Chris is no slouch. I mean, I haven't met anybody that was a slouch. And not even Barry Horowitz. And if you ever hear this, Barry, I love you, man. And he can tell you how to save money at Subway, bro. Let me tell you something.
Is that right?
Absolutely, man. Don't you let you get chipped on them little tomatoes, man. I'm not kidding, man. The tuna salad got to be just right. So I got a bunch of Huff Barry stories, but so everybody in this room is laughing. And Vince pats me on the back. And I'm like 280 pounds, and Vince pats me on the back. Ha, ha, ha! And I'm like, wow. He goes, well, here's the deal. You're going to be Kloudi. You're going to oppose Sonny. You're going to wear the same outfit she wears, only all in black. You're going to oppose her. So, we're going to dress you up to look like her, to mock her. And I just look at her. Are you kidding me? He's like, no. I'm like, Chris? And they're just all dying laughing, and I'm just like, what the hell, I'm here. To go over a few things and, what I'm going to do. Now, you're not going to be having to take a bunch of bumps or anything like that. This character, this is what we're going to do. So I'm like, wow. In my head, I'm going, I can heal up because I had a broken elbow at the time. And I broke it in Cleveland before I went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, jeez.
It's the business, man. It's just, you work for Midwest or whoever, and, somebody misses a spot, maybe me, maybe the other guy, I don't even remember. So, God didn't intend for us to drop elbows off the top rope onto lightly padded concrete floors. I mean, it's just, our bodies weren't designed for that, but, we end up doing it. So, that was the deal, and then, that's I was the highest paid transgender athlete in 1996. I just want to be clear on that. I was probably the first transgender athlete, I would think. Don't you think I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for that alone?
I think so.
I think you better talk to Joe Bruin, and you better tell him, damn it, Jimmy Shoulders ought to be in the Hall of Fame just for being Kloudi. And I did it in Providence and all them towns up there, and, just for doing that, representing a whole lot of folks, being that transgender athlete there.
And that's
you know what I'm saying, brother?
I do. And WWF at that point, well, it was nationwide, they still did. I don't know if they did a majority of their shows up here, but I know there was like monthly shows in Boston at that point. So.
Oh yeah, we're there every month, man. And
I'm old enough to remember those. So.
Yeah, after I lumped up Triple H, those are the only things I saw wherever TV wasn't.
Yeah.
Just happened.
That's.
Because one thing Vince knows how to do is he knows how to bury people and he knows how to kill a career. He's gonna help.
But what I mean,
I'm not gonna badmouth him. I mean, but I don't particularly care for the man.
Right.
I see what he did for a lot of people, and he knew that drugs were rampant. We had a list of stuff we were allowed to take. Did you know that?
I did not.
We had the drug testing going on. We had a list of drugs we were allowed to take. and they were all prescription.
Can I ask what was on the list of what was acceptable? Do you remember by
Soma,
Jesus
Percocet,
Christ,
Vicodin, Darvocet or Darvon, something that, and a few other things, Toradol, some other stuff. I don't think OxyContin was on that list, but it also wasn't as big in '96 as it got to be in '98. By the time I was ending things up, '98, '99 with ECW, I broke my neck twice. I was just way out there on the drugs. I mean, the gimmicks just took over, and I missed, dates, everything. I still miss days and months in my memory from a lot of that time.
Did the drug?
We were drug tested for steroids, marijuana, cocaine, whatever else. I guess heroin, but.
So you couldn't smoke weed, but you could pop as many somas as you wanted.
Yeah, and me and Neidhart, after they killed off the Kloudi gimmick, I went up to Creative, and they were doing a whole gimmick for me, and Neidhart and I were who and what with the masks.
Okay.
Yep. And they were gonna, and here's like a great deal for me, because Owen and I were got to be pretty close over the years, and we kind of looked alike. If you go back and look at pictures of me back then, I mean, we kind of looked alike. Everybody said, "Man, you guys look alike." And
I can see that.
I don't really see it, but I kind of get it. I mean, we're both really attractive men.
Well, you were handsome Jimmy before you were Kloudi, so.
Brother, let me tell you something, man. Handsome Jimmy Shoulders prevails, and I was up at a show up in White Plains just to see. I just gotten in from. Terry Funk got me a bunch of shots down in Texas, and I was working down in Texas and doing a thing with Dory Jr. And I got back up here, and Chris and Tom were doing this skip and zip deal.
Yeah.
Already, and they were up at White Plains doing a house show. So I said, well, I'll swing in because it comes from the airport. And so I'll just swing right up there and come see y'all. So when I get up to White Plains, there's this curtain, like this stage thing at the one end of that auditorium, arena, whatever hell, Civic Center, whatever it is. And I'm just sitting in a chair on the daggone stage, and I hear behind the curtain, "Handsome Jimmy Shoulders." Hearing it over and over. And then I hear on the PA system, "Handsome Jimmy Shoulders." And it was Owen, and a couple weeks later I meet up with them. I'm at another WWF house show, and he's on the PA saying my name, doing it. And I go to him, I'm like, "Oh, what's the deal with that?" And he goes, "I just love your name, man." So I was like, "All right, brother," so that was like mine and Owen's thing.
That's
it was just funny, So when I got there and I'm doing the Kloudi, he's like, "No more handsome Jimmy Shoulders." He's trying to come up with something, crying Kloudi, something or other. He had a whole bunch of them, and he just went on and on and on. But so Neidhart and I were put together as a tag team, and Jimmy wouldn't stop smoking weed and kept getting popped on the test. Now, he was getting tested more than anybody, I can guarantee you that. And I think Vince just, had it out for him. And I got no heat with anybody, but, the clip, they might have had a little something to do with it at times. We all had our dark days, all of us, and, went through our own battles and, thankfully, a lot of us have gone on the other side. You know, it's like if I see Kevin or Sean now, you know, it's like, hey brother, how you doing? You know, there's no animosity, there's nothing but, you know, love, respect, and you know, but you know, it was a bad time. So he got popped and fired, and he wouldn't stop smoking weed. So I had this thing where we were going to come out of the who and what deal, and I was going to be part of the Heart Foundation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, so that went south, you know, and it was just like a series of characters that they kept doing and developing, and they'd team me up with somebody, and the other guy would go south, and I was just like, is it me they're screwing or them they're screwing? You know, just like, you know, who they putting the screws to, man? And I was like,
you know, and then I got into a beef with, you know, Puffy the Wonder. You know, I'm not going to get into it, but, you know, so then I was off TV and stuff and whatever, but, you know, I'll tell you a funny one here, JP. You know, sure. I know you're not getting asked any questions, and I'm not a very loquacious fella, and I don't have a lot of verbiage to use, but, you know,
I love these interviews where I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you can go get a Coke. You can actually go out to a drive-through, you know, and go get yourself, you know, something and supersize the hell out of it. But the Kloudi gimmick, the first night we were doing it, it was at the Mecca in Milwaukee, and so we're going over to finish, you know, and Al isn't at the meeting for the finish. He's cutting a promo, doing something. I think he was cutting a promo for a lead-in into it, because all of us kept going back and forth to different things. Of course, me being Kloudi, I was in friggin' makeup, you know, and had these eyelashes. And it was hell, brother. Yeah. I sat down. Those girls take handsome Jimmy shoulders to make them, you know, into a beautiful, beautiful woman. It took them some work, you know, but I can tell you this. I looked like my oldest daughter if she were all gassed up, you know. So, you know, Kloudi was, you know, the boys used to call my daughter Shorty, partly Kloudi. You know, that was a rib on her. She was like 10 back then, you know. But,
that's funny.
So we're in the meeting. We're going over to finish and doing the deal, and Vince, you know, everything's big, you know, and I get it, man. Save some of your energy for out there, you know what I'm saying, man? Like, I'm an internal, you know, like, I'll use it when I get there, you know? Right. And, so, he says, well, what we're going to do is, you know, you'll be doing your, you know, swinging the towel, you know, and shaking your hands and jumping around, you know, like a girl. And no offense to any young ladies out there, I don't mean anything like that, but I mean that girl that did the deal for the Body Donnas and then left to go with the Godwins and then the Smoking Guns, whatever the hell her name was. But anyway,
irrelevant, right?
So Vince says, so Marty, we're gonna have one of the new rockers. You're gonna take a shot from Kloudi, and then he says, then she's gonna spin you around, put a kiss on you, throw you down, and then put Skip on top of you for the pin. And I said, okay. And Marty says, wow, Al is not gonna like that. You know, so he right away put it so that Al was the one getting the kiss. He wasn't even in the meeting. So when Al got back, he got the deal on the finish. He's like, how the hell did I get stuck with that? You know, so that was mine and Al's first date in Milwaukee. You know, and then it just repeated for however long that was. You know, it was a blip. You know, in 11, 12 years, it was a real blip on the screen, but it's just funny what you're known for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, now, you did your stint, you did the Body Donnas, you went to ECW. did you stay in the business after that, or did you get out completely?
I got out July '99. Well, I broke my neck at C4 and 5, December of '98, in a show. Fatu got me on it out in a few dates out in the West Coast, Los Angeles and somewhere else. I can't remember who the hell it was for. I did a moonsault off the top rope, and I shouldn't have been doing one, but came down wrong and fractured that. Pretty good C4 and 5 December of '98. And then got back in the ring with New Jack.
Oh.
A few months later. I love New Jack, man. He was so easy to work with.
Really? I would think with all the hardcore stuff that he would be. You're going to get hit hard with something.
Painful. I wasn't saying it wasn't painful and I didn't like it, or that I liked it. I mean, it was really a horrible spot to be in, but. Like, New Jack's just a good guy, and I liked working with him. We worked easy together. I knew he was going to, the problem with what was in the garbage can, he wasn't putting everything in the garbage can. Like one night I got hit with my own George Foreman grill. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I got hit with waffle irons, and I got hit with that barrel in a cotton candy machine?
Yes.
Where they take
the
cardboard little cone, and they whip it around, get all the air and sugar, and whip it up that round tub part.
The big metal piece.
Beat the hell out of me with one. I did the job to him because he beat the hell out of me with one of that one time. So, I mean, I got hit with a die-hard battery. Just whatever, but.
Yeah.
So
that was an easy day at work.
I took a chair shot. Pretty good. It was up here. I was up in Boston, and me and Balls and Axel and a local guy from up in that area worked with Tony Rumble. Was one of Tony Rumble's guys.
Okay.
And he was with me. And he was going to, kind of get beat up a little bit, and I'd rescue him and come in, and I'd go over on top of Balls, but they were going to do a couple things to me first, the heat and all that stuff. And I took a chair shot from Axel and just went down.
Oh.
And, it was just done. And that was the last time I wrestled. I did a couple other shots in 2009, and I was like, my body can't do this. I'm not doing this. I want to be able to walk. I said, forget it. Yeah. But I mean, in '09, after the movie The Wrestler came out, guys like me who, guys a lot more famous than me, and got workers way better than me, who all succumbed to the drugs, and all the gimmicks that were taking us down. It took so many of us out. People were paying us ungodly sums of money for the where are they now? Like, holy cow, they survived. Yeah, pay them a ton of money and have them make an appearance, get them in the ring. So I got to see Marty Jannetty and a couple of the other boys, a bunch of other guys, and work, but. I was like, screw this, man. And I got friends of mine, I'm 55 years old now.
Okay.
And I got friends of mine that are older than me that are still working.
Yeah, those.
In business. The Lord blessed me with other talents and the desire to stop.
And that's the thing. There's no retirement.
I didn't stop the drug habit after I got out of the business.
Okay.
So I got done in '99, and I was still partying like you know, people say party like a rock star. Rock star's got nothing on wrestling. You know, they got nothing. They got nothing on the boys from the squared circle, bro. I'll tell you that, man. Because you know, I've seen you know, Lars and Jimmy Hatfield go down partying with some of us because they couldn't hang.
Is that right?
Yeah. You know, Metallica.
Yeah.
They couldn't hang with us. You know, ask Pritchard, he'll tell you.
Oh man, that's.
Ask Tommy, he'll tell you. He couldn't hang with us. You know, Tom like party like a rock star, my ass, you son of a bitch. And he's putting the boots on.
I love Metallica, but Hetfield was known for his partying.
Yeah, he couldn't hang with us. You know, I love the guy. It was just funny, man. But they weren't doing the same gimmicks we were doing. You know, like we had this tolerance built up for somas and all this stuff, and you know, it's just nuts. But I just kept doing it, and you know, between having PTSD, from my time in the Marine Corps when I was overseas, and drug addiction, alcoholism, no faith, no nothing, just loss. Yeah. You know, when I was really done at ECW, because I got to be too much of a mess to work there. How's that?
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's bad, right?
Yeah, I've only heard stories of the ECW locker rooms, but that's.
Oh, it was nuts. But and then you know, you had the locker room, then you had the kayfabe locker room, which you know you had me, Bammer, Shane, Chris, you know, Shabu, you know. Yeah. Guys, we'd all like me and Bammer grew up together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you know, we'd known each other, you know, most of our lives. You know, at least since we were wrestling at school. You know, and you know, families knew one another before that.
Oh wow, that's.
Yeah, you know, and right now where I live right now in this goddamn forsaken, horrible state of New Jersey. This is the People's Republic of New Jersey. Maybe you heard of it. It's also known as hell. But I live right around the corner from where Bammer used to live years ago. And, you know, we'd pick up in cars there and go to the airport from there and stuff. But,
so that was your riding buddy?
We'd ride together. Me and Chris, we were all right around here, you know. But you know, now here's where I get into, you know, me and MJ. We were doing a bunch of indie shots, you know, and Bobby Rydell, you know, was like a booker, you know, wasn't like, you know, he was a booker for us. He booked a lot of stuff for us, you know, and he always negotiated good money, good terms, and payment up front and all that stuff, you know, so we got our money. But, you know, poor Bobby and his poor mom, you know, Joe, she'd ride around with us, driving, you know, me, MJ, and a lot of the other boys, you know, in a minivan and stuff to shows in upstate New York and Connecticut and out in Long Island and up in North Jersey and all that stuff. And, you know, we were a mess before the show. But you imagine after a show, and she allowed us to stay at her house in Long Island. You know, and we were just a mess. And, you know, I'd say to her and I'd say to Bob, you know, thanks, you know, sorry. It's like, oh, we always pray for you. We have faith. You know, the Lord's going to take care of you. And I always hear all this Lord, you know, and I'd be like, you know, the Lord nonsense. You know, they're a little heavy with it. But in my heart, you know, I knew what they were saying was what my mom and dad had always said. The power of prayer, you know, ask God to guide you and ask God to give you the answers and, you know, ask God to show you what's true and where you belong. You know, my mom told me you don't have to live your life like a movie star, you know. You look at the Marine Corps and went overseas, you know, was in Beirut and, wow. You know, and been a couple other places and, you know, torqued in the head from that, and you know, wrestling band, you know, and I also, you know, I rode Outlaw, you know, I rode the 1% lifestyle for a long time. So my mom said to me, you don't have to live your life like a movie. Can you imagine that, being told like that? You know, live your life like a movie.
Well,
it didn't quite click, you know, at that moment.
You know, it sometimes takes a little while to realize.
Yeah, you know, and so, you know, like, you know, Jannetty, I just love Jannetty. I love Mark. You know, it's just, you either do or you don't. You know, most of us do. And but you know, this poor woman taking care of us and all that. They just had such tremendous faith. And I had gotten into a situation with a girlfriend of mine at the time, and I just didn't know what was going to happen, like what direction I was going to go. And she had said to me, she says, "You need to straighten out. That's it, you know." And like, you know, and, you know, but the thing here, I'm going to give you the deal right here. You know, she was just told me she was going back into stripping. You know, are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah.
Olympic pole dancing, yeah.
Yep.
And I wasn't real happy with that.
Right.
So I'm driving her car because, you know, now I'm a has-been wrestler. You know, with no money, I'm driving her car. You know. And I punch her dash off when she's telling me she's going back to strip. And she's like, my car. And then, you know, I'm driving like 80 and I throw it into, you know, park. You know, like, screw you, you know, like, oh my God. And, she was going to call the cops on me. And I was like, wow, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, could I go further? Could I really hurt people I love? You know, hurt her, hurt my daughter. You know, 'cause I only had one kid at the time. I'm like, this ain't cool, man. I got to stop. So, you know, I went home that night alone, and I'm sitting there, and I'm drinking, doing some gimmicks.
Yeah.
Thought I might have been snorting coke, or I don't remember. I mean, I was doing plenty of whatever I had. I can tell you that. And I got to my right side. You know, I was living in this little place down the beach in Manasquan. I'd lost my house already, and you know, pretty much everything was gone. And so, you know, just sitting here and I hear this voice, Jim, this is your one and only shot. Take it now or it's gone forever. And I looked to my right, and there's nothing there, and I heard it clear as day, and I'm not hallucinating. There was none of that. You know, I'm like, huh. Because I've had plenty of people say, oh, you're hallucinating. I'm bullshit, man. This is the real deal. You know, and I go out, I pull the door open in my deck, which my front porch overlooked Main Street there in Manasquan, down by the beach, and there was nobody out there, and I'm like, oh, man, that was God. Now I'm hearing in my head Bobby Rydell. I'm hearing his mom Joe, prayers for me. I'm hearing my mom and dad, you know, prayer. And I pick up the phone and I call a buddy of mine who helped me get so clean sober the first time years earlier, back in '87. And you know, by '95 I was already back out there, you know. And the next few years were just brutal. Or '94 I was probably back out there. You know, and doing drugs again. I started drinking about '95, but I picked up the phone and I called my buddy Swami. I got nicknames for everybody, whether they're in the business or not. All my kids, you know, have nicknames. You know, my son, the one that got gypped, he's just called Boy. You know, my oldest is Shorty. My second oldest, that's Booger Mayne, because Cynthia Catherine picks her nose, you know, and that's just, I call her Booger, you know. So, and then my youngest daughter is Sunshine. She's going in the Marine Corps.
Oh, wow.
This summer. Yeah, she's going to be like me and Mom. She's going to be a nutcase. So she wants to be a Marine. She doesn't want me to have to pay for college. She wants to go the route that me and Mom went, military college, and, earn the money to go by serving our country. So I'm real proud of her. And her boyfriend, Jamie, he's going in the Marine Corps too. So, and I really like that kid too. So, we're going to have some more service members in our family and the beloved Marine Corps. And, that's the deal. But I called my buddy Swami up and said, I need some help. I want to quit drinking and I got to get off these drugs, man. He says, well, you're drinking high now? I said, yeah. He says, well, if you're serious, call me tomorrow. And he hung up the phone. And I'm like, right, son of a bitch. And here I want help, and he's not helping. Now, what a bastard. Now, I got to stew in that all daggone night, right? You ever stew in anything?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm getting pissed. And, so I finish what I was drinking. I pour half of the stuff out. I throw some stuff away. 8 o'clock in the morning, I call him. I say, hey, Swami. I I want some help. He's like, all right. He says, are you drinking? I said, no. He says, are you getting high? I said, I'm just high from everything I did last night and drunk from everything I did yesterday and last night, but I haven't touched anything since about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock this morning. He's like, okay. He says, I'm going to pick you up. We're going to go to one of them there AA meetings tonight. I said, okay. And that's what happened. And then the next day, my mom died.
Oh.
And, yeah. And I went down to my mom's funeral, and everybody thought I was crying. I was upset. I love my mom. She was a good girl. She was from the Bronx.
Okay.
She was the Bronx, so she was tough. Bronx Catholic, you know.
Yep.
My first concussion came from my Irish mother, you know.
I believe it.
It was a hairbrush. My second concussion came from the nuns at Catholic school. You know, South, you're familiar with the Catholic school.
Oh yeah.
Right?
12 years of Catholic school, so.
You know, well, imagine it in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, I take it I'm a little bit older.
Yeah, I was the 80s, so. When I'm 43.
You call me an old fart?
I am not. I'm 43 years old. I'm old to be doing this myself, so. But I love it because I love what you guys have done. So.
You know, it's. I was just for it. I've never been to rehab. I've taken hundreds of people to rehab. Hundreds, literally. Actually, in the last couple of days, I got people into rehab again. And a friend of mine lost his son-in-law to a heroin overdose just the other day at 46 or 47 years old.
That stuff is
it's just bad. When I tell you I'm blessed, and when I tell you that, excuse me, I sit here, or let me tell you, I stand here before anyone. And I can tell you that I'm truly suspended in a state of grace. God has blessed me. He's blessed me with a gift. And he's shown me a way more powerful than anything that I could ever imagine. So you tap into the power of Jesus Christ and you find out what the true power of everything is. And it will really blow your mind. I'm not a Bible thumper. I don't whack people over the head with the Bible. I don't minister to people. Like my buddy, one of my Christian mentors, Anthony, another carpenter. You know, I'm a carpenter too. And, he'll minister to anybody on the street, in the lumber yard, on the job site, in the men's room. He'll minister to anybody and carry the message of the Lord to them anywhere. My message and my delivery is a little different. I let people kind of come to me and I kind of slip it in, but when my buddy Swami started me off to going back to AA meetings, my mom passed away, and I detoxed down at my mom's funeral. Everybody thought I was all worked up just about that, but didn't realize that I was detoxing too. And then the road over the next few years where I actually did all the steps that they have in that AA book, and I amends to everyone that I could possibly think of. And if I ever do meet or run into anyone that I owe an amends to, I still make the amends. But I made these lists. I paid back all the money to everyone I owed, everything.
Wow.
And God just blessed me with the ability to do these things. And then he started putting more people in front of me to help them get off of drugs and alcohol. And Chris was making at this time a swing back around, and he was getting involved TNA, Dixie Carter.
Yep.
Right? He's down there doing that deal. And he's running into some of the boys, and like, hey, man, how's Shoulders doing? I said, oh, he's doing good, man. Like, what's he up to? And Chris knew that I was going out, and I was, speaking a lot to AA groups, church organizations, anyone that asked me to speak and tell my story, and share the hope and hope and change and like just a glorious path that you couldn't imagine. People ask me to tell them his story, and Chris's take on it to tell the guys, well, he's a reverend, because he didn't want to throw me under the bus and say I'm in recovery and doing these things, but
right.
he was telling people I was a reverend. And at the same time, buddies of mine that are Marines started up their own Marine Corps League down here in Manasquan. And they said, Jimmy, man, you're the only guy we know that really reads the Bible and stuff, but we need a chaplain for our detachment. Will you be it? And I said, yeah, sure.
Wow.
So I got the chaplain deal by doing that. Things just happened for me because I said yes to God. You follow?
Yeah.
So
yes.
You go forward to when Chris passed away. We had just had lunch together about a month before he passed away. My oldest daughter was our waitress down the Broadway Grill in Manasquan. And this is another kind of funny story, but Chris said to me, man, he says, you ever get another dog got the name of Cactus? So I had one time I had a dog named Cactus because Mick always helped me and Chris out a whole lot, and I love Mick.
Okay.
Nick's always been kind to us and loving and a true good friend. So I named the dog Cactus one time, and that dog didn't make it. And, okay. So Chris said to me, if you ever get another dog, man, you got to name it Cactus. So I have a dog now. He's my service dog. And he's also my hunting partner. And he got me into training dogs. So it's a whole nother deal, man. Like, the things God's done in my life just took me way off, where I thought I'd ever be. But, so when Chris passed away, he's doing the TNA deal, and I didn't know he was telling the boys I was a reverend or anything like that. Guys come up for the viewing, I had to give the eulogy because Mom, Chris's mom, I call her Mom.
Yeah.
I love Peggy. She when I was sick in 08, she just looked out for me, and my mom was gone, and she stepped up and was there. So I was almost dead in 08. I got real sick. But at Chris's funeral, all the boys, even Funker, even Terry, came up to me, Double J, Al, Tom, Dr. Tom,
yeah.
Even Dutch Mantelli said, hey, Reverend, how you doing? Hey, Reverend. I'm getting all the reverends involved. What the hell is going on? Tom gives me the biggie, so he's giving me the office. I'm like, what's up, man? He says, that deal where, you go around, you talk, and, most of the stuff you do is charity, but there's other people that pay you to go out and speak and stuff. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, Chris didn't want to tell everybody you're in recovery, so he told them you were a reverend. Well, I am a chaplain, you know, so it's kind of, you know, how things just went along. And the guy that I ran a recovery group with, it developed, my buddy Ray, it developed into much, much more. And, you know, we didn't talk because, you know, AA, they're like, you know, the God of your own understanding. And, you know, I'm telling anybody listening, you know, I kind of speak like, you know, one of the boys, and I kind of speak like a Marine, so I'm going to say it like it is. It's bullshit. It's not the God of your own understanding. You know, the path isn't all roomy and broad and all inclusive. It's narrow. The gate's narrow, so you know it's the one true God. Okay. And you know, that's just the deal. Like, so you know, hey, this is me, man. I'm God. Hey, I'm Jesus right here. I'm doing it. I'm right here for you. You know, and Bobby Rydell and Johnny Ova at Sound Heaven Church out there in Deer Park, Long Island will back me up 100% on that. You know, so a lot of other Christians. You know, but. Yeah. You know, it got to a point where in recovery, if you read the literature, it says, you know, if an alcoholic fails to, and I'm going to paraphrase, fails to enlarge his spiritual life, he's screwed. So me and my buddy Ray, not telling each other, because you don't really talk about Jesus or anything, you talk about God in general in those recovery rooms. We've separately gone down a Christian path, or really gone up a Christian path. Yeah. Because we started to rise a little higher, not above anyone else. I'm talking about ourselves.
Yeah, I know. Just you're bringing yourself up.
Yeah, where we are, we're not. God is, you know, and He's lifting us up. So when I tell you I'm suspending the state of grace, He's just holding us, you know. And you know, one day about a year into me walking back with the Lord. You know, I said to my buddy Russ, he looked at me and said, you know, we're talking like we're both doing good, and, you know, we run this other entire group. We both spoke in Iceland, and we were over in Copenhagen, and you know, a bunch of places doing workshops for recovery. And just, man, it sounded good. Like, well, I've been going back to church, and, you know, just been really trying to dig back into, you know, my Christian faith that my parents gave me. And he said, me too, only my parents didn't give it to me. You know, his father was an atheist, and, you know, his mother wasn't a big churchgoer, but, you know, but we were both separately, but that block of where you don't talk about in these rooms of recovery, just in general, I kept me and my best friend, you know, after Chris was gone, you know, Ray was it, you know, still is to this day. You know, God puts people in your life at the right time. There's no coincidence in that nonsense.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Because we were supposed to be there. And so we just started going down this path, going up the path and telling people like, hey, you know, I believe the Lord saved me, and, you know, this is what I have to offer. So when I take people through, you know, what we call the work in recovery, the steps. I don't even call them the steps anymore. I just call it the work. I do it in a way where it's coming out of the Bible. I do it in a way where, you know, the Bible tells us, you know, how to make our amends and when to make our amends, and it doesn't tell us to wait, you know. Yeah. So, and the Bible tells us to help others. It doesn't say, you know, wait until you're healed to go help others. No, you're going to get better as you get, you know, you're going to get better even though you're sick, spiritually sick. You're going to get better by helping other people. How about that? You know, so that's just kind of the way things went, and you know, it's just kind of where life is for me. I mean, I got a great family. You know, my second oldest daughter just graduated from the finest liberal schools in America, Rutgers. You know.
Congratulations to her.
So she's real proud of her. You know, like, you know, so my two oldest girls are college graduates. One has her master's, and one's going on to get her master's. My wife's in nursing school. My My youngest daughter's going in the Marines, and my son's still in high school, but, you know, he's ripping engines apart and having a good old time, getting his hands dirty like I always did with motorcycles and cars. You know, it's good, you know, and me and my boy go hunting together, too. You know, so, but I just want to tell you, like, you know, I got a service dog, and I'm probably not going to bring him with me up to Fan Fest. He did great. He did great at Rutgers. I'm just afraid that someone will rib my dog, you know, and I'm just going to be smart about it and leave him here. But this dog, God put this dog in my life. I sold my motorcycle to get the dog, and the dog changed my life. So, you know, I get clean and sober, you know, after the business, and I'm blessed with that. God puts a woman in my life that I'm blessed with, more children in my life that I'm blessed with. And my head started getting worse with the PTSD, and I got help. You know, I got help. You know, God told me, listen to these people, go get some help. So the VA gave me some help, and you know, thought I locked into a couple of good doctors that I could talk to, and you know, I didn't want to die as much anymore. You know, and even on a Christian path, I wanted to die every day at one point.
Oh, I've been just through depression, and that's a dark place.
Yeah,
it really is. And
you know?
Something that we've actually talked about, because it's usually more than just me doing these interviews, but the other two had something going on, and we've all gone through it. And something we eventually want to do that we've talked about is actually doing, rather than a wrestling podcast, keep this, but also do one on depression and on that stuff and what we kind of do, because we're all in little bits of better places now. What we do to put out, you know, not that what we do is going to be the same to help everybody, but just so other people know there's other people out there that felt the same way or feel the same way, and there's ways out of it.
You know, so a buddy of mine that owns the gym that I go to over here in Ocean Township in New Jersey, Ultimate Fitness, Eddie Albert, he was a bodybuilder and a good friend. Chris and I trained there for years, and I still train there. Although I don't train like I used to, you know, but, you know, I'm okay for an old man. You know? But, I can still deadlift 405, so I'm okay.
That's amazing.
But, Ultimate Fitness, just love what they do, and they had another veteran come in with his organization, Unbroken Warriors. You know, our bodies, our heads, minds, you know, there may be broken parts of us, but we're not broken. You know what I mean?
Right.
Warriors, we're not broken. Our spirit isn't broken. We're here, you know, so it's Unbroken Warriors. It's a great organization. They did a fundraiser, you know, PT workout, you know, and they did it at the Fit Zone Ultimate Fitness deal. And it was just great to raise money for them. I go in there with my dog Cactus, and this guy running the organization there, he's got his service dog. And, you know, it's just like, this is cool, man. You know, like, God doesn't drop people, I said this before, in your life for no reason. They might be there for a minute, it might be there for a month, and it might be there forever. But take advantage of the people in your life, you know. Don't take an opportunity to thank someone or tell them you love them, you know. You know, I'm grateful for, I mean, the guy who's known for his wrestling career is Kloudi, and got a bunch more, you know. Today I'm thankful for Kloudi because I get to talk to you.
Right. And that's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that put you in, you know, it took you back to a dark spot, but, it, you know, it made you stronger because you didn't get out of that dark spot once. You got out of that dark spot 2 times.
Yeah, I was lucky, you know. I mean, it's, you know, God dipped my ass in chrome, I can tell you that, you know, because, you know, you go to Ephesians 6:10, 10:6, 6:10. You know, it talks about the armor of God. You know, it's on the front, it's on your head and on the front breastplate. forward, no matter how dark things get or how hard things get. You know, you got to keep going forward. You know, you can take a punch. You got the arm around. God's got your back. Don't slow down. Keep going. You know, and, that's the deal. But you know, I mean, you know, God put this dog in my life too. You know, and since I've had their puppy, you know, I mean, he's 27 months, something like that now. 2 years and 3 months. Just been a hell of a time. Me and him are hardly ever apart.
Oh, is that right? I wouldn't be afraid of anyone ribbing the dog on Saturday. I would be more afraid of, like, typically a service dog. Like, I'd be afraid of the people trying to pet the dog and trying, you know. I know service.
At that point, and I'm not talking about the boys ribbing them. You know, I'm not worried about the boys ribbing my dog. You know, I say rib, you know, like fans, you know, like people not knowing, and you know, just maybe getting overzealous, and you know, you know, so I'm like, you know, so you know, Joe will take care of me, and I'll be good up there.
Joe.
You know.
Joe, have you done any of Joe's the Hall of Fames before?
No, because you know that man, you're going to talk to him because Kloudi should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'll see him. So I'm going to be there Saturday, so I'm looking forward to talking to you there.
So well, we got to get a picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unless Joe Broom puts Kloudi into that Hall of Fame in the next year or two, he's not getting a picture with Jimmy Holden. You can get two, but he'll get none. And I love Joe.
He's such a. I've known Joe for I've never done anything in wrestling myself. I've never wrestled, but
God bless you, man. You're smart.
I started going to shows, and when you see me, you're going to ask me why I didn't. I'm 6'8", but I just didn't. I found the independent wrestling stuff when I was in my 30s, and I started going and helping out with ring crews and stuff. So I've known Joe for 10 years as, you know, an acquaintance, and I talk to him every year when this stuff comes around, and I've gone to a few of these. It's always a great time. Always.
Oh, the guy. I was supposed to do the last Fan Fest, I guess, a couple of years ago or something.
Yeah.
3 years ago, whatever it was. But I think it was my dad got sick, or one of my sisters. I forget what it was, but like I had to go down to South Carolina. I couldn't make it.
Right, family first, of course.
Yeah, you know, Joe understood, and you know, I sent him back. You know, because Joe's a great guy. He sends you, you know, money in advance.
And that's why he gets the loyalty out of some of the guys that he gets, and he pulls out guys. Like, do you do a lot of these conventions?
No, I stayed away from it, and you know, I'd gotten a ton of calls to do it for years. This is the first time I'm bringing the Kloudi gimmick anywhere ever.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That is cool, and that's what Joe winds up getting because he is such a good guy. And then we're talking about the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and Fan Fest, which is coming up this Saturday, June 2nd. It's at the Holy Ghost Charity Hall in East Providence, Rhode Island. AllAccessEntertainment.com, and that's access with 2 X's. And there's going to be a ton of guys there.
But the most important thing, man, is Jimmy Shoulders. That handsome one, baby, is going to be there. And don't forget that the other handsome one, the Boogie Woogie, Jimmy Valley.
I got to talk to him loud. Maybe I'll get the 2 handsome ones together. The 2 handsome Jimmys.
Well, you're gonna get the 2 best looking guys in the building together. And I got to give it to you here. You know, brother's got a lot more talent in his pinky than I got in my entire body. You know, and Jimmy, he's a great guy, and love him. I can't wait to see him. You know, Chris introduced me to him years ago. We weren't even working USWA in Memphis. We were working some indie in Memphis. You know.
Okay.
And,
He was huge in Memphis, so.
Oh yeah.
He was huge. We were talking about that. Like, he actually had songs getting played on the radio.
Yeah.
So and this is the stuff that you get at the Fan Fest. You know, Al Snow and Jimmy Valiant, Marty Jannetty, Kloudi, of course. So, you know, you guys, it's like $10 to get in the door.
You know, one of my first shows for Dennis Carluso, me and Chris working, I don't know, might have been a couple of years into the business, somewhere around there. Dan Severn was working NWA down there too, you know, and hell of a nice guy, man. Was
that back when because he was doing the UFC and the NWA at the time, at one point anyway.
Yeah, that's what he was doing,
and that, you know, Dan Severn, these are guys that he last year, or a couple of years ago, he had Jameson from the WWF. Joe winds up finding the guys that no one else finds. It's not that they're not looking for them. He just does the work.
Yeah. Well, Howard Finkel's going to be there, right?
Yes. Yeah, he has.
You know? So here's the deal, and I love Howard. If you talk to Howard between now and then, tell him I love him. He grew up. He went to high school with Chris's dad.
Oh, wow.
They were friends in high school.
That's...
That wild? And then me and Candia both end up wrestling up there.
That is crazy. It's
it's like nuts.
Wrestling is a small world, but the world itself, it just shows you, is small outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
But Kloudi, I am going to wrap us up there. Handsome Jimmy Shoulders.
I will see you on Saturday, June 2nd, at the Brotherhood of the Holy Ghost Memorial Hall, brother.
You will. This has been incredible. I appreciate everything, man.
Oh,
Thank
no
you.
problem,
Thank you for your service.
Anytime you want to talk. You got it, brother. Give me a call anytime you want to talk about anything, you know, whatever. Just give me a shout, brother.
Awesome, Jimmy. Okay. I will. Thank you, man. You got my number as well.
Happy Memorial Day.
You too.
Thank you all for tuning into the Irish Whip. We will see you next Tuesday.